there. In this lesson, we're going to add to our basic if statements. Now remember, we talked about last time, an if statement acts like a gate in your program. We're asking a simple true-false question, and if it's true, whatever's held inside that gate happens. If it's false, we've blocked off that code from happening. Today we're going to look at adding an extra piece to our if statement called the else. Basically, this is a section of code that will happen only if the original condition is false. Okay, so here we've got a very simple program, and I'll go ahead and run real quick. So we say hello, it asks what your name is. I'm going to tell it, it helps if I spell my name correctly. Okay, so I'm telling it my name. Hello there, Becca. We've got a little editing to do, and let's say I'm feeling happy. Okay. From there, we want to actually add an if statement that's going to respond to the happy. First, let me debug this a little bit. You'll see right here where my name and the there, let me run it again so you can see it. This time I'll type in Ada, and you can see it says, hi there, Ada. So we want that Ada and the space to be a little bit separate. Okay. This is actually something that's a little bit tricky for students at first, is when they're working with words in our programs, they have a hard time understanding that the white space, like the tabs and the spaces and things like that, are still characters that our computer has to store. And that can make it a little frustrating when they're debugging. Okay, so I am Becca. Okay, there we go. So we've got the correct spacing there, and I am feeling pretty happy that I've got my code working. So just like with if statements, the if-else block is under control. And you can see here we've got the if, and then we have this if-else block. You'll notice there are two spaces to put commands. The top little area is what's going to happen when our question is true. The bottom area is what happens when it's false. And let's see, we're going to use the equal operator because we're going to actually ask the question on how they're feeling, and then based on what they say, then we'll choose which block to do. So we're going to make our squirrel say, that's great. Glad you are feeling. And actually, I need to use a join block. I want it to say basically, if they answer happy, I want it to say, that's great, I'm glad you're feeling happy. And then otherwise, we want to have a different message. So here, we're going to join, that's great, I'm glad you're feeling. We'll take the answer to how they're feeling, so, and then that's what we're going to say. Otherwise, I'm just going to leave this saying hello for just a second. We'll change that in just a second. So if answer is equal to happy, and let me grab answer here. All right, oops, I spelled happy wrong, so I'm assuming we're not feeling happy. Okay, so attach this onto the end. Alrighty, so let's go ahead and run from the beginning. Our friendly squirrel says hello. My name is Becca. How do I feel? I feel happy. That's great. Glad you're feeling happy. So now we need to test it and see the other side. I'm going to actually change this and say, too bad. Okay, so let's run it again. Hello. My name is Becca, which apparently I cannot spell at all today. Okay, I'm going to say I feel sad. Too bad, you should try coding to cheer yourself up. So kind of a silly program, but you get the idea. Basically, if I answer happy, I get one response. If I answer anything else, I get the second response. Now, one thing I want to pay special attention to here, running again. This time I'm going to type happy in uppercase letters. Now let's see what happens. Okay, so we'll notice that happy is not what we call case sensitive. So Scratch is recognizing that lowercase happy and uppercase happy are the same word. That's a little unusual. A lot of programming languages don't do that, but it makes a lot of sense. For working with kids, we don't want to get too caught up on exactly how all the letters are stored and that kind of thing. But to go over this again, we have a basic if statement. We have our condition where we're asking a question. When that question is true, this first part, the if clause, happens. Else, this second clause here where it says, too bad, you should try coding to cheer yourself up, right? When we work with an if-else situation, exactly one of those two options is going to happen, either the first one or the second one. Always one of the two is going to happen. It's also important to notice that you can never make both happen. It's either one or the other. It's very distinct. It's either true or it's false. So one of those two gated area is sort of activated, and we actually use those commands.